And we are back on the Chosen Life podcast. We are so blessed because not only did we get her once, we got her again. And Melissa Lantsman has graciously agreed to spare some time and energy for us. And we're going to be here for 3 weeks. And Melissa, we are so excited to see you again. Welcome back.
Happy to be here.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You know, on my street, by the way, people would stop me because I had the biggest Melissa Lantsman sign on my street. I outed one of the big boys. I wasn't in the corner of the street, but I said we have a high traffic area, and people would honk their horns and give me the thumbs up.
That's awesome.
So our street loves Melissa Lantsman.
We are very blessed to have the support in this riding of so many. I'm humbled by it every single day. Truly am.
So I'm
We'll
back.
get you an even bigger sign.
You know what? I still have the sign actually. I
Don't
also
tell anyone.
I was the first one on. I was the last one to take it down. I had to take it down. I started getting stares because it's already been months, right? So I had to take it down. But yeah, no, maybe I was thinking maybe a rooftop sign next time.
Okay, we'll get you a billboard.
So we got a clipboard now. Like we're all official now. Things have changed. We got a pen. We got a clipboard. We're good. So some nice Q&A today. It's gonna be a lot of fun and questions that people have been asking me. Questions I know I wanted to know. And for the next 3 weeks, a little bit of rapid fire, a little bit of fun. You game?
Let's do it.
All right. So firstly, she is back. She's reelected. How are you feeling after the last election?
So, I mean, honestly, a little bittersweet. Running in a first election here in Thornhill is, yeah, nobody knows who you are. You try to convince people to take a chance on you. And the second election, it feels a little different because maybe they actually chose you for you. Again, like a humbling feeling. We got a massive vote of confidence here in Thornhill, and then the bittersweet part is, you got over 41% of the vote across the country, over 2 million more votes than you got last time, 24 more ridings, a new coalition with a huge with the huge thing around the leader, like a positive energy around the leader, and you still don't win the election. So that's you know, that's the that's the gut punch right there.
I'm still feel like I don't want to say it's a bad dream, but I really didn't see that coming. I really expected it to go a different way. I really projected it. I manifested it. And I wake up every day, I'm like, did that really happen? Did that really happen? Did that really happen? And day by day goes by and I'm like, yeah, it kind of happened, I guess. But tracing back for you, you ran a great campaign and things went very well in your writing, obviously. And, from the first time to second time, big jump, right? So you had a lot of support the first time around. 25,687 votes, over 44,000 this time around. Harder to come in as the rookie the first time around, or was it harder to get reelected?
Hard to come in as the rookie after a guy like Peter Kent, who had this riding who represented this riding with such, grace and humility over the course of 13 years. Hard to follow in, the big shoes that he left behind. I think easier the second time, and not because we take it for granted, but because we get to build our own organization, um, young people that were in high school, who are with me, throughout the nomination in my first campaign are now graduated university and they've still stuck around. So you don't win without the good people around you, the right team around you. And I truly believe I have the best team in the business.
I didn't think of it till the moment we were sitting here in that, and I remember, Peter Kent was a mainstay in our area.
Totally legend.
Everybody knew Peter, and it was funny because as you came in, I can imagine that shadow. Yet I can tell you with all certainty now, sitting here for the second term, I don't feel there's a shadow. I kind of forgot. I hate to say I forgot about Peter. I love Peter, but you've definitely made this your own. Like people now associate you with Thornhill, with Vaughn, and you've done a great job of it. And I think it's being out in the community, it's caring and really trying to make a difference.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm like a renter of the seat, right? People instill their confidence for as long as they're going to instill their confidence, and this seat in the House of Commons belongs to the people of Thornhill. Like I knew that from day one. I know that every single time I walk into the House of Commons, and we got a job to do. We got to be the voice for people in the community, all people in the community, those who voted for me and those who didn't.
You're a sports fan, right?
Huge.
So there was that coach that said the day you get hired as a coach, you're just waiting. Then you know that you're holding the seat because the day's going to come where you're going to get fired. It's just inevitable.
That's it was certainly inevitable with Toronto sports teams.
Yeah. So it seems that, and hopefully in politics a little less. Going back to the election now, it's been a little bit of time. It's still pretty fresh in our minds, though. But the day of the election, day itself, I was curious. What time does your day start on an election day? How long does it go? Walk us through that day if you can recall.
You know what? I run like crazy days to the point where the people around me sort of have to like tag out and then continue the day. I had the benefit of being able to visit with, upwards of 40 other different ridings. So spent a lot of time in the community, spent a lot of time outside of the community, knocking on doors right across the country, and also, in the broader greater 905 and in some of the 416. So a little bit of a different campaign for me where you really had to put the trust in that best team that I was talking about before. But on election day, it's a bit mixed, right? You come in and you send off all of the teams to go out and draw as much vote as you identified. You make sure that everybody's well watered and fed, and you go around making sure that those who signed up to help, and we had tons of people, are ready to do the thing all day long. And then you have a little bit of a fight with your team. They're like, "Why don't you go and chill out for a bit? Like you're hovering around here. You're not being very helpful. You're micromanaging things." So I got sent away for a little bit. We went to see some businesses. I had a normal lunch with my brother. It's like a tradition that we now have, where we went next door,
Yeah.
hung out, made sure that everybody in the restaurant voted
At Center Street Deli?
at Center Street
How
Deli.
did I know? How did I
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
and then you go back and for that sort of final push and until the very end, and that day starts, like, at the crack of dawn, and you're never really, like, sure until all the votes are counted or, the TV puts a check mark next to your name. So we were kinda watching our stuff all takes place in this plaza. Our party was in this, plaza, and again, a bittersweet, you get the check mark next to your name, and then you see that the Liberals form government. So you gotta figure out what you're going to say by the end.
But it's funny, you watch different stations, each one is showing different results. It seems yet they're all showing the same results, you would think, different projections. And you're thinking,
Definitely.
it could go this way, it can go that way. If we get this seed, we get that seed. There's so many little games we play in our minds with it.
Yeah, it's a bit different than the election we had prior, the provincial election. So
Yes.
they count really quickly. You'll know the winner within 5-6 minutes. Here they do counting by hand. So the election results come in a little bit slower. So some close races, and
Yeah.
there's this like emotional thing that happens because you develop these friendships and these connections with people who are also running, and to see some of your colleagues defeated or not reelected, not coming back to Ottawa, you can't help to think like, man, that's like that, like I'm friends with that person, like, yeah, now somebody else has their seat, or the ones that didn't run again. So it's kind of like a roller coaster night.
Was there a different hat? Like the first time around, I imagine you called other people that were running and getting their opinions who've done it before. And then I assume you were getting the phone calls this time around from the rookies. And now you were the more veteran and
Yeah, so
wearing a different hat.
well, I still ask for advice whenever I can get a good advice and bad advice, and of course, again, we were able to be helpful to so many different ridings, and lots of those people, particularly in our region, are brand new MPs. So
Mhm.
now our office continues to be helpful in helping them figure out all of the things that I had to figure out too.
I guess we're kind of spoiled in Thornhill Vaughan because it's almost like our bubble because we know it's our community.
It's a
We
good bubble,
know
eh?
it's a great bubble. I love living here. I'm not gonna lie. And you get that vibe. You walk down the street. You know your neighbors, and there's a community to it. When you're going all of a sudden outside of the bubble and you're going across Canada and you're spreading the message and you get to meet people. Very different depending on which province you're in, right?
Yeah, of course, and the issues are, by and large, different in different regions of the country. But over and over again, you sort of hear the same themes coming up: the cost of living, the crime and the chaos, and the drugs and the disorder in our streets, in our big cities, in our small towns. If you're if you're in the West, there's certainly a concern about the lack of resource development in this country. If you're in the East, one around the economy. So you kind of hear those different stories everywhere, and it gives you a good picture of what direction the country should be going on. And I think Pierre had that down pat. And change takes time, so might be a two election strategy for him.
Yeah. Now, looking back on hindsight, I know, of course, hindsight's 2020 always. We could have done things a million different ways. But looking back, I think you ran a great campaign. Obviously, the results showed it. Your constituents said the same thing. Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently, knowing now what you know?
Yeah, look, I think every election, whether you win or lose, and I think doing this when you win, and I think is actually a lot more difficult. But when you win or lose, you take stock of sort of the whole picture. There was lots of things that Pierre won the debate on. We don't have a consumer carbon tax because of Pierre. The capital gains tax is that the threat of that is gone. We have a new consensus around immigration, a new consensus around resource development in this country. Every single debate that we put forward in the House of Commons was won without winning the election. So, 2.3 million more votes than anybody since '88. 24 more seats. A coalition of young people, of workers, of new immigrants. All of those are positives. Lots of things outside of our control. Uh, the guy down south certainly played a part in the election. The complete decimation of the NDP, which I think changed the electoral math, where I think much of that vote consolidated around the Liberals. So all of those things are sort of that we're taking stock of. And I know that there's so many of us on the team that are speaking to our members, our movement, our voters, our the people who helped us out to figure out how we can change that and move forward.
And I promise you, next week we will get to the man down south. Pretty good idea of who you're referring to. And yeah, seem to have a little bit of a shift in our election for some reason, which I'm still a little bit fuddled, but we'll get to them next week, I promise. The people of Thornhill, they pull up their chairs now. They're watching the screen. If you could send them a message today now, sitting here in the year 2025, we're going into summer. Fall will be here before we know it. What message would you like to send them today,
Well,
Melissa?
you know what? I mean, I get to speak to. I'm all over the place in the community. I attend as many possibly events as I can. I speak to as many people on a daily basis as possible. But I want them to know that they have a fighter and a champion for the people of Thornhill. And I know that things will get better in this country. I want this community to be a place where if you grew up here, you can afford a home here, that you can work hard, that you can get ahead, that you can play by the rules and you get what this country has to offer. That was the Thornhill that I grew up in. That is the Thornhill that I want to keep the dream alive for. And there are lots of changes in this community, and we got to roll with the punches. Some of those changes are amazing, and some of them we want to see a pause on.
I love that. I love that because that's one thing I could say following that election. I don't always get a lot of messages of hope. I have people shrugging their shoulders, saying, I don't know, do I have to look outside this country? And I tell people we do live in a beautiful country and we've lived here for some of us for generations. And maybe we lost our way a bit and it's time to find that way again.
No
So,
doubt,
yeah.
better days are ahead.
So I'm going to pull up a crystal ball now, Melissa.
All right.
We're going to look in the crystal ball. If you look in the crystal ball, and of course, when we make plans, God laughs, right? But in 48 years from now, let's say, next 10 years, where do you see Melissa Lantsman?
Oh man, if I told you like 8 years ago what I wanted to do, like people would have called me crazy. So I'm not a not a big uh, not a big sharer of the plans, but I want to be here as long as the people of Thornhill will have me fighting for them, and hopefully take a bigger leadership role on a team in government and make the changes that are necessary in this country to make us more prosperous, more free, and to bring back the country that we all love, and the one that we knew.
For Thornhill, our area that has evolved over time. If you were looking into its crystal ball, where do you see the future for Thornhill?
Thornhill is a community that's changed quite a bit. Like I grew up like a tennis ball throw away from the office, that now is my constituency office, and it was a very very different community. It was safe. It was free of crime. The old stories of nobody having locks on their doors and people playing outside. And look, I know the world's changed, but there's something about this community that we need to preserve, and that's making sure that the generation who grew up here can still live here. That our churches and our synagogues and all of our institutions that make this place special can survive with again with a next generation of people coming here and dwelling here and being able to raise a family here. I think this is one of the best communities in the country, and certainly in the world, and in the best country in the world, and we want to keep it that way.
Bravo. Well, last wild card question. Are you ready for one more?
But
This got thrown in the last minute, folks. So, Melissa asked me off air what I was planning to do for the summer, if I gone away at all. And I mentioned to you that I had gone to this little thing called Vipassana, where you go up north in Ontario. It's out down in Cookstown. And basically, for all of you that haven't seen it before, I did post these after the fact. But imagine going to a place, you hand over your phone, they put it in a Ziploc bag, you know which number it is, you'll get it back in 10 days. For 10 days, there's no contact to the outside world. There's no radio. There's no television. There's no newspaper. There's no pens. There's no paper. You basically bring nothing but your clothes. They feed you. And you're spending 10 hours a day sleeping, 10 hours a day meditating, eating, and walking. That's your day. Can you imagine Melissa Lantsman with the go, go, go and how many people you connect with and connect with you? Imagine 10 days of being disconnected.
no, I'll tell you honestly, it sounds like a nightmare to me. Like a complete nightmare. I'm like a pretty disciplined person in most things that I do.
Yeah.
Not all things, but most things. And I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. I found out about it about 15 years ago. It took me 15 years to convince myself that I
To do
could
it.
do it. Like being a partner in a
Would you
law.
do it again?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. But the thing that where they get you is they have 1 day, 3 day sessions, but you can't go for the 1 or 3 day unless you completed the first course, which is 10 days. You have to do 10 day. Now they've expanded upon this program in 15 years. Now they offer 20 days.
Sounds insane to me still.
It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. And I can say you definitely get lost in your thoughts quite a while, but it was like a mental detox. I can say like, getting like 100, 200 emails every single day, phone calls, meetings, everything
You're a
else.
busy guy.
It was nice, as I'm sure you are. And
I can't even do like a 7-day beach vacation. If you're lucky enough with your family to be able to go on like these vacations where you like sit in the sand and stare at water and like read books, like
yeah.
not for me either.
Well, believe it or not, when I came to go claim my phone, I looked at them. I'm like, do I have to take this back? And we took bets in my office to see how many emails would be waiting when I got back from 10 days.
What you get?
500 work, 500 personal. It wasn't bad. I trained everybody that I'd be gone.
Does it negate the 10 days that you took off to have to answer the 1,000 emails that you're behind on?
No, no,
All right, so
no.
you would do it again.
I would do it again in a second. Absolutely. But it's one of those things that I say, I'm never going to say never. I'm never going to say always. We never know where life is going to go, but there's a chance I may never do it. But I'm always curious to see people's reactions, and everybody feel it's either people want to run to it or run away from it.
Yeah, I'm the runaway.
There's nothing in the middle.
I think it's
So
insane.
Melissa's a runaway on this
I'm
one.
a runaway.
And in week 3, we're gonna have a lot of these Q&As to see where Melissa stands on stuff. But next week we're gonna get a little more serious and talk about our country, and it's time to fix it. You game?
Yep. I'm game.
See y'all back next week. That's Melissa Lantsman, Jonathan, Chosen Life.